Hey YouTube, if you saw my video the other day, I mentioned that I saw like 7 flyers on the lead. So I was like, okay, what's the best answer to flyer? Dedenne makes sense. And then I'm like, okay, what pairs well with Dedenne to beat the ground? Well, the pair that I've showcased on this channel like 20 times already because on my own and viewer submitted, Dedenne Talonflame core was insane. So then I was looking at, okay, I know this core is good. I'm using Shadow Talonflame because I like Shadow Talonflame more. I've mentioned why I think that in the bad matchups like Dedenne and stuff, being able to just sort of ramp up on Incinerate Flame charges makes it not as bad as it should be. So then I'm like, okay, if you're going to use Shadow Talonflame and Dedenne like shields too because you want to like shield and then Parabolic Charge your way through matchups, what safe swap do I use and what safe swap do I use where it has an insane amount of bulk? So I truly just went to Poke, searched by stats, and picked one of the top 5 stat Pokemon that could also work as a safe swap. Hello Umbreon. It has been a while. OG safe swap in seasons 1 and early on. Kind of gone away now. Foul play got nerfed, or it just Dark Pulse is the better recommended moveset now. So we are going with that and Last Resort to be able to hit neutral again in other matchups. So good lead followed by a very nice safe swap as well. They do have Rock Tomb. I will respect that. That would one-shot me. So shitting up the Rock Tomb. They living with 1 HP is actually huge too because now I get the 4th one through. And as the Greninja comes back in, that is fine. My attack is lowered by 1, but I am a Shadow Talonflame and they are a Greninja. So figured if I went one more Incinerate plus a Fly, one more Incinerate, they could get to a move and take me out. So I'm just going right away to grab that second shield. They're going to take me out, but job is done. I keep Switch. They may have a Hydro, and I'll probably shield. And out comes the Cordilli. And this is a neutral matchup at best. And once I lower my attack a couple times, it's not amazing. But that's not the role of Umbreon on this team. I don't really care how much damage is taken on Umbreon. There's very, very few times I tried to like save shields for Umbreon and run with it. And when I did, it's usually when I lost. How you use this team is Dedenne and Talonflame should be using both shields, and Umbreon should just be a sponge or a sacrifice to just take all the damage and force all the energy from your opponent and try and grab shields if you can. If not, just try and chip to put it in within range. So here we go again. Another Dark Pulse. My attack is lower like 2 times, so it's not doing a ton. But the damage is now done that I have a shield and I'm able to get to the moves to take out the because I chipped it low enough, I'll be able to take out the Cordilli. So Parabolic Charge, this will one-shot for sure. No one move is going to take me out here. So even if they have a Rock Tomb or a Grass Knot, will not take me out. And because Umbreon chipped enough, they are in Parabolic Charge range. Even if they weren't, I have a Dark Pulse still on Umbreon, so this matchup is over. But it was a pretty easy lead and safe swap and switch there. Tougher lead. So going into Umbreon after I missed the first time, which is unfortunate. You know, I hit, obviously no shield. I hate getting Rock Tombed and then my opponent gets out because it's just pretty much a guaranteed loss. Because this is what makes a Rock Tomb lead good. Because if your opponent switches out, it's very easy to get to the Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb chips and lowers your opponent's attack that you almost guaranteed to keep switch here. So getting off 2 Dark Pulses, while in itself is good, not when it's lowered. So Altaria is bulky as well, doesn't help that situation, but doesn't really hit super hard. And they throw right away, which is fine. I'm actually glad they did. This means they are pretty dry, which means my Dedenne will come in. 2 shields, but I expect them to have 2 shields too. At this point, I'm going to have to try to 2-shield Talonflame through the Cordilli here. So take it out, instant swap in here. As you can see, those Incinerates are doing damage. I mean, the acid's adding up a bit too, but we don't care about that. We got to shield up these Rock Tombs. Now, if they double shield, and I double shield, by that time the switch clock will be up that I would have gotten into something else. However, nice catch. I thought that going 1 incinerate plus throw, although I always say 1 in catch, you know, when it's a 5-turn move versus a 2-turn move, I just assumed it would be an easy catch, like an easy not catch, because it would be on the 4 versus 6. But unfortunately that did not work, so they caught the flame charge on the talonflame, which means I do not grab that shield. And by the time I get a shield here, like these incinerates are going to start adding up on me here. Do take it out, but now I need to basically bait a parabolic charge and hope that I can still get to a play rough before they get to another move. So baiting the parabolic charge, unfortunately what you are going to see here, if I remember, is that I will not have enough energy and I'll be 1 short as they get to another move, and then I won't have enough health left on the talonflame. So tough lead. You had to try and run 2 shield talonflame in the ending there. Nice catch by my opponent. Okay, I played this one a couple times, I think the same way. So you will get a parabolic charge off here. They will not get to move off because Night Slash is resisted. They have to go Trailblaze. They're going to shield because they're basically one-shots. So then I instant swap talonflame, because if they are 1 slow, like if they, because they're never going to just like not throw the first move. But if they like overtap and go for a second one, it almost puts them to, it puts them to 1 HP. It happened a couple times. If they don't, you still have a shield advantage. So unless it's like, I don't even know if Bastiodon's in this meta, but depending on what's in this meta, you can, if it's not a super hard answer, with the shield advantage, you should be okay. So here's the shield advantage. They do have Stone Edge, so I have to respect that. But I do take them out. They don't have any shields left. I have energy. I threw Blind. It is a Corviknight, so it's a team that's double weak to Talonflame. The Incinerate registers. That Incinerate is going to register too, because they will not take me out with an Air Cutter, because it's not a good move. Nice snipe. This is why I threw Blind. I knew they had energy, so I had to throw Blind. So I don't regret the throwing Blind. And basically you're going to force them to throw here. I thought I'd win CMP, but I guess not. I guess they just never throw CMP because the CMP is a Night Slash and it's resisted. But this is where sort of Umbreon's just going to come through here. Add a Dark Pulse. They've boosted their attack, what? Once, maybe twice now? They can only go Trailblaze, which it is going to hit. But this will be enough to take out. Umbreon's tanky enough that it takes that Trailblaze, even boosted with ease. They're not going to get to, even if they get to another Air Cutter, which they do, not going to be enough to take out, because this is the problem with Corviknight. If you can't throw Payback and you can only throw Air Cutter is not great. And if you don't get the boost on it, it's just not a good move at all. So I will take out the Corviknight there. Again, we will play out the exact same way. I will get to the Parabolic Charge right away here. One CMP'd me. Yeah, maybe this one CMP'd me, which is crazy because I know it's just a Night Slash. I don't need to shield. However, I'm still going to have to get out, because if they shield, they can bullet punch me down before I get to a next move. So it's not a terrible strategy, but I'm not going to let that happen. Straight into Talonflame. It does register before they realize what's going on. Takes them to the deep, deep red. So they're basically a couple fast moves away from a Thundershock being down. A Thundershock down. Altaria is tanky. I had a bit of energy, so I'm not surprising that I'm shielding here to get off the next move. Again, my goal is to kind of shield the dedenne Talonflame whenever I can. So here comes the fly. They do let it go. It is a ferret in the back, and I try to make a catch on the Umbreon, just banking that energy. And what you're going to see here is, this does not scare me. I don't really care what move this is. It's going to be a Trailblaze because the only thing that hits neutral. Doesn't do much. Out comes the ferret. Sucker Punch is resisted. I take all the Swifts. I have Dark Pulses, which do chip. Like, Dark Pulse is a decent move. Obviously, with a Umbreon, but that's so low in the attack, it doesn't do a ton. But it's really going to start causing some problems for my opponent here, and they're going to have to shield this one, or I'm going to be taking them out. And they do, and I just instant swap to dedenne, knowing that I have a shield, and I'm just going to outpace. And I'll take that matchup there. And yes, a third scissor in a row. Um, this one, I believe, same sort of thing. Throw the move into talonflame. Now, if your opponent is smart, they have a great answer for this. Because, look at that, take that to the red. Morpeko, this is what I'm talking about. These are the matchups that I can live with. I don't mind pulling out a Morpeko. I don't mind pulling out a like a Pokemon with a rock type move if I can like potentially shield my way through those matchups. I was worried that they're going to get to another Aura Wheel here, so I'd probably go Incinerate and throw. And they get to it anyways. 25, yeah, I guess it takes 25 to get to the move and only 20 over there. So that's okay. They have no shields left. I took them to 0 shields. Still have a bunch of on my dedenne. Umbreon's going to come in and just start absorbing stuff. We'll see if they show me their back Pokemon. Nope. And again, the Scizor's coming in to dump some energy. Cool, bro. What's going on outside? The wind was just like picking up there, and I think some branch fell and hit my window. Gyarados, very, very tough for my opponent with Gyarados here, because I will get the Thundershocks off to take it out. I think my opponent lagged out, but not that it matters when I have a shield advantage and a dedenne against a water flying Pokemon. No chance. Two times in a row my opponent lagged out there. Okay, Water Gun Lantern. This is not new. I've seen it on a few content creators teams already. I throw the Parabolic Charge again, just seeing one, I don't know how much it does against a Lantern, and two, just boost that defense before they throw something. And I'm shielding here. What I was hoping for here, because I'm going, like, I know one Parabolic Charge won't take out, but I'm pretty sure Play Rough will, and I'm hoping that with the shield advantage, they would just let it go. They do not, which is tough. I would really love to have landed that. Now I don't think I'm going to double shield the Dedenne. And I still do get to the Parabolic Charge, which after those like 3 or 4, probably like another 5 Thundershocks, is enough to take out. So I will take Switch here. Unfortunately, at what cost? Because it is a Guzzlord. I do get off a Parabolic Charge. Oh yeah, I remember this one too. I'm like, okay, grab the shield. They weren't counting. Sweet. I grab the shield advantage and switch. I have Umbreon, which can just absorb this stuff. Tough that it has no... My opponent is obviously at a huge advantage here because they have a Dragon Tail that's doing neutral. And I blow the matchup here. And I blow it on this thing that I say never to blow it on. Don't fast move time when you can just take your opponent out. So I could just take my opponent out there, but I'm trying to fast move time a 5 versus 2, which now forces me to shield. And now I'm also too low that I'm not going to get to a move on the Guzzlord. So had I just thrown the move the first time, I've gotten to another move potentially before the Guzzlord takes me down. But now burn that shield, and Guzzlord has a better matchup against Umbreon because it has the Dragon Tail fast move as opposed to Snarl. And I got non-stab Last Resorts, and they have non-stab Sludge Bomb, but just the Dragon Tail Sludge Bomb combo is going to overpower Umbreon. It's very close. I do get another move off. I live like a third Sludge Bomb here because that's what Umbreon can do. But yeah, just don't let your attempt to fast move time properly cost you shields or like health or like a significant amount of health or stuff like that. Like, they're just not smart. So I will go down as they are a couple HP away, but definitely feels like one that I kind of threw away there. Okay, terrible lead, Marowak. So we're going to have to go into... why am I going into Talonflame? I don't know. This is dumb. Like, I feel comfortable with Talonflame to a certain extent because even in bad matchups, you're likely to grab a shield just because that's what the Shadow does. But as we see here, really going to put some pressure on me because I'm going to lose Switch and they're going to come out with energy. And this is a Dunsparce, which covers this core because it can throw drill runs here. So maybe I need to shield, or is this the one I try and 2-shield? Yeah, this is one that I may just try and 2-shield Umbreon here. Like, I grabbed one shield. I know Umbreon can kind of deal with Marowak. Do you want to know actually the main reason that Umbreon kind of fell from the wayside? I think there is the main reason it fell from the wayside is because you have an insane amount of bulk here, but Snarl puts on no fast move pressure, and your charge move Dark Pulse is decent, but and the spam isn't bad. 12999. Oh, jeez, it's a 3-turn. I'm sure someone pointed that out. I gotta make a lot of edits to my comments here because that's the second time I screwed that up. It's a 3-turn move, not a 2-turn move, and so 12999 is not even bad, but the Dark Pulse Last Resort does not put on enough pressure. And I've found that there is enough other bulky Pokemon that seem to put on more fast move pressure and charge move pressure. So when we look up, so I said that I organized by stats in the Jungle Cup. And my options, I'll just do it behind the scenes here. But in Jungle Cup, if you order by stat product, Umbreon, Chansey and Blissey, which we're ignoring, but Umbreon is third. Mandibuzz is fourth, which also just took a hit because of the Aerial Ace nerf. But 7 and 8 are Clodsire and Diggersby. And Snarl is a 4.33 energy, but only doing 2 damage. Poison Sting is 4.5 energy, but 2.4 damage. So doing better energy and better damage. Quick Attack, probably a little slower on the energy, 4, but more on the damage, 3. Meanwhile, you then have to rely on the charge moves, right? And while Dark Pulse is a pretty good charge move at 96, it's 50 energy. Whereas like your Clodsires are sitting here with 132 damage Earthquakes at 65. What I say Dark Pulse was 50 or 50. So it just like, although it is more energy, the damage that you can actually output on some of these Pokemon is more threatening than what you're getting with Umbreon. So between the like no damage on the Snarl with charge moves that just aren't hitting hard enough, it seems to have taken a back seat to some of these other bulky Pokemon that can still really chip you with their charge moves and a little more with their fast moves. So that's why Umbreon has disappeared. But kind of worked in this one. Like you just kind of take all these charge moves. Getting to the fly here on Talonflame. This will take out, and then hopefully this shadow damage means I can incinerate down. And that's exactly what happens to come out with that win. Altaria, last matchup here, good lead. They get out into Fortress. So again, we'll play this out the exact same way, where I will shield up a Rock Tomb, incinerate down. Honestly, I hope that Incinerate did not take out and I get one more just to get a little more energy. Perfect. They live with 1 HP. So I am at 4 already. Throwing right away. It's a 1-turn Altaria, so it does not matter when I throw the charge move. Might as well just throw it. Lands, going for the next one. My attack is lowered. So these flies obviously aren't doing as much as they normally would. And so that's why I just instant swap. I'm also sort of reading that they may have a second thing weak to fire in the back. They obviously do not. But, when you safe swap Fortress, you can just get destroyed by Talonflame. And yes, you have a Rock Tomb, which you can grab a shield, but otherwise it's just a terrible matchup. So I was kind of like, maybe they have a second steal in the back. I'm going to save Talonflame. Altaria was so low enough that I was okay there. And took this down to the yellow. And that's all I need to do. The Altaria is already pretty low because I landed 2 flies. And now Umbreon against a Pokemon that is less than half health left, just going to eat these drill runs like they are nothing. So there's the first drill run. They're going to need 4 maybe 5 drill runs to take out the Umbreon, while this Dark Pulse is going to dominate. So my opponent does leg out here, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, it's still good. It's still good in the right circumstance, and I think this is the right circumstance where you want to absorb damage and put some, absorb the damage, don't use shields, put some pressure on your opponents. Again, Dark Pulse is 96 damage, so it is from a lower attack Umbreon, so you got to calculate that in your output damage calculation. But it can grab shields, and then you kind of run with the Dedenne Talonflame core there, especially with the Shadow Talonflame. We're really going to put on some pressure there. So that's a team. Makes sense. Got me 25-38. Despite 1 or 2 bad plays in there by me, which seems to be the theme of the season. Oh, great team. I should have been better. I just played like crap. I think I'm at that point. I think I am just crap at this point. Not crap, but I'm just not good at this point. Maybe not. I have honestly no idea where I am as a battler anymore. Just because I know everyone else has improved substantially and I have not. And when I first started, I joked that I was a third, fourth tier player. But then just like 14 straight legends and like doing super well at the Toronto Regional Game of the Conference, be like, okay, I'm not the best, but I can definitely be second tier. But I don't know. Something happened over these last 3 to 4 seasons where it just feels like I'm going in the wrong direction and everyone else is just like leapfrogging me. I feel like I'm back to the third, fourth tier type player here, which I know is weird to say as someone who hits like, even last season when I didn't hit legend, I hit 2993, and some of you don't get past like 2250 or 2500, and you're probably thinking like, if you call yourself a fourth tier player, what do you call me? So just the way the game is, unfortunately. A lot of good players out there, and if you're not improving, you're gonna fall behind. You got to be okay with that, and I'm mostly okay with that, actually. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.